Hello, still here. So today we're taking out the Blenheim F. This is Tier 4 Heavy Fighter. Why are you flying a Tier 4 Heavy Fighter? Well, I'm in the EU server today, so we're going to see what we can do. Hopefully we can take advantage of being in a Tier 4 battle. It's pretty few and far between. And as such, it's been kind of a pain in the butt on the EU server, to be honest. You run into, and this isn't going to be an issue strictly to the EU server, of course. But as a new player, with quotes around it, as a new to this server player, having a Tier 4 plane, I get put into a lot of Tier 5 matches with a lot of specialized planes. But I mean, such is life on World of Warplanes. There's not a huge server base. There's not a huge amount of, there's just not a huge population. This is not like they can separate the newest of the noobs from the from those that have been here and specialized their planes. So you're just kind of stuck dealing with it. In those kind of matches, I'm basically a support plane because I'm a, for all intents and purposes, a stock Tier 4 heavy fighter, and as such, there's just not a whole hell of a lot you can do sometimes. So let's go up and see what we can do versus these bombers. I do at least have my 20mm cannons finally researched on this plane, and that makes one heck of a difference when it comes to, the actual ability to kill things. Oh, you're turning back around? Alright, cool. See if I can get my boost back going here. I'm so used to just being able to boost and then put an engine cooling on when I need it, and can't do that since I don't have the ability to do any of that kind of stuff typically on this server. I suppose, obviously if I specialize a plane, I can move on to that, but right now my initial goal on this server is just to get to Tier 10 and try to keep as many planes as I can at each tier, so that way I can take the steps to flighting up with people on the EU if they want, and that way I'll have something for everything. So that's one of the reasons I'm going down the British line, is because there's a lot of crossover when it comes to the British planes and when you're grinding. And that way I can, hopefully help the grind be a little bit easier. Oh, shenanigans. HE-112 can be a real difficult plane. It's actually got 20mm cannons on it as well. And it's one of my favorite Tier 4s, to be honest. I'm not sure it's better than any given plane, but I like it. And that's all I need to be able to play it. I like the Blenheim too, for that matter. I like all the British planes. Name a British plane and I probably have it on the NA server. And that's the main reason I went down this line, is because I know I like the planes, and I also know that they cross over, a lot of the guns cross over, yada yada yada. So hopefully we can have an enjoyable grind beyond whatever other shenanigans we're stuck into. Alright, so are my bombs not ready yet? I'm thinking my bombs are ready and they're just not. Okay, F7, man, F7 it. There we go, the old OP F7 works on every server, man. Every server. One of these days I gotta go over the friggin' F keys. I mean, there's only 3 that I really use. 4, technically, if somebody's being nice, I'll give a good job. That sounded weird. But F2, F4, and F7 are like the big 3. And, using those will get me out of a heck of a lot of trouble, or, help me avoid issues, or get people to support an attack or support a defense. They're always very nice. I-1629, one of my favorite tier 4 premium planes. I love the I-16 early. The I-16 late was okay. The I-1629 reminds me more of the early, just at tier 4. I prefer it over the actual tech tree version. That was a good little spin, actually, and then he ruined it by turning back. So, alright. What do we got going on here? I'd hate to be a bomber on this freaking, this game. Oh, they're both quit. Well, alright, cool. So you got quitters on the EU too. I've actually noticed that. And I don't know if it's because there's more people, or it's just whatever's going on the NA. On EU, there's a lot of people that quit on the EU server. Just an absolute ton. At the bottom tiers. Now, I've noticed it's not as bad in my tier 6 plane. But tier 4 and below, there's a ton of AFK, there's a ton of quitters. Frustrates the hell out of me because when I'm on that losing team and, oh, well, we're just going to quit. Well, gee. I mean, I'm not trying to have, like, the world's best win rate, but I find it difficult to just quit on a game. Quit on a match, I should say. I quit on games all the time. I probably should have gone for the FW, huh? Oh, no, actually, I'm glad I came this way because the other plane is being defended pretty heavily. So not an outstanding game, but to be honest, most of the games I've had on the EU server have been very similar to this. Let's head on back. And what I meant by similar to this is I don't have a lot of games where I'm above 10 or 12,000 personal points, and I'm sure part of that is because my planes aren't, to the max that I can get them on the NA server. But I also think part of it is there's a lot more players taking up those personal points. So, we got Admiral here, we got Zeno. They did really well there too. They're probably annoyed that there's 3 of us that are, above on personal points. And, as such, I'm not able to get 14,000 personal points on a lot of games because I've got a couple other players that are doing really well. And again, no complaints, right? I like and really enjoy that there's more players. I'd like and enjoy that it tests and pushes my limits a little bit more, especially with the slight latency that I have with the EU server. Well, again, just the biggest thing that frustrates me from the EU server, besides the fact that my planes are hampered because my pilots are weaker, my planes are weaker, my silver is weaker. That doesn't frustrate me because it's expected, right? I went in trying this expecting to not be able to have the best planes, to have the best situation to start off with. I'll build myself towards that. What's been the most frustrating is these kind of guys that, yeah, you died twice. Hell, you might have even died 3 times. You died 3 times. You didn't do very well. But is quitting going to help you do better? Or are you just going to quit and not play again? If you're going to quit and not play again, then bye. But if you're going to just quit because you died twice and you only killed 2 things, you're in a specialized BF-109B. Clearly you've been playing the game for a little while. You're not going to get better at playing the BF-109B by quitting on the game. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. There's my rant. I'm off my rant. So again, not a wonderfully awesome game, but it kind of shows you what the Blenheim can do, even stock. You get the, not stock, I should say. I do have the 20 mil cannons finally. The 20 mil cannons are really needed to have this plane be impactful, especially in tier 5 battles. So yeah, once you get that, it makes the Blenheim a lot nicer to play. I'm getting closer to the Beaufighter. Yeah, pretty close. I'm probably not going to get the top engine just because the top engine is only used for the Blenheim and it doesn't really seem like it's needed. Like, yeah, it gives me some more horsepower, but not a whole lot. And even if it gave me a lot, I'd still question if I need the upgraded engine, excuse me, just because the grind to the Beaufighter is going to be pretty short. Like one more battle like that, and I should be okay. 2 bad battles, and I'll be to the bow fighter. Now, if it's a long grind, let's say I'm at tier 8, and you know I know the grind to the tier 9 is super long, and the top engine is only used for the tier 8 fighter, I'll almost certainly still get the top engine, just because I'm gonna have to grind 140,000 XP. I want the best equipment for that entire grind. That's me. Anyway, we'll see those videos in some later date when I finally get to tier 8 or whatever tier I decide to do that kind of stuff on. Yeah, see, I haven't even painted this. Like, this is like so... this is so not me. It gives me the EBGBs because I go to the NA, obviously. I've got a bow fighter in my garage, in my hangar. You know, it's probably got permanent paint on it for all I know. But it's definitely got pilot that is going to have at least 2 points on each one, and that's only if I stuck a new pilot in. It probably has 6 points on the pilot and the gunner. You know, the equipment's maxed out. It might be specialized. I don't know. Actually, most of my planes aren't specialized, but I could specialize it. I'm almost certain if I haven't. And then I turn over to this plane, and I'm like, I just started putting universal ammo on my planes. I don't even know if it's really worth it. I just figure it's better. And, you know, I'm still making silver, so I'll put the better ammo on there just to have it. Anywho. That's my little dealio on the EU. I'm enjoying it for the most part. I don't know what my freaking win rate is over here. It's definitely up and down. 67%, so it's about the same as my win rate in NA. But keep in mind, I'm at the low tiers right now. So it'll probably start going down as I get to the higher tiers, and I have, you know, still stock planes. We'll see. I'll see if I can do as good as I can do, but I'm definitely enjoying myself. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I will continue to post from time to time an EU video just to show you guys where I'm at, and you know, eventually I'll be able to get the Javelin, the Swift, and the Hunter, and then I'll be more apt to doing flights with my EU colleagues. Hey there, Postal here. So today we're taking out the S199 again here on the EU server. I've actually just put paint on this plane, so we'll see if that makes any kind of difference. The EU server has definitely been a struggle. I say a struggle in that it's definitely pushed me to the limits. Mainly because... well, because the game's just slightly different over here. You know, the game itself obviously is the same. The interactions I have with the other planes, the bots, and all that jazz. Yeah, I've got, you know, latency that I've got to deal with, but it's not so terrible that I'm, you know, regretting my life choices or anything like that. Not any more than I typically do. We got him. Cool. We got this. We're getting the garrisons right now, even though we're tier 6, just because I didn't even check what the heck's going on in the center. Got BF-109 there, and a Yak-1. So yeah, Yak-1, if it wants to, is going to own the center. We've got a Spitfire 1 specialized, and an 8010 2 is specialized, so we might be okay. Thing we're going to have to look out for, and the thing that's unfortunate is there's a specialized ME-410. Doesn't matter what server you're on, those are going to be really good. And a doe. So let's see what we can do here to try to capture the enemy garrison over here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I was going to say, like, I'll freaking waste my energy if you're not going to kill him. See if I can get this guy knocked out. Got to aim a little bit further ahead on the EU server because of that slight latency, and I got to remember to do that. Got an FW-190, which we should be able to outmaneuver pretty easily. Up and over, hitting the air brakes here so we can turn tight. His engine's knocked out, so we don't need to worry about him getting away. Underneath you, buddy. See if I can turn back around really quick before these heavy fighters are inbound. Pretty hard hitting guns. I mean, not like world-changing as far as guns are concerned, but certainly not bad. So we've got the 3 sectors, which is all I was really hoping for here. Let's hope we can hang on to this. Paying attention to the map a lot, because I want to make sure that we don't get caught out by whatever the heck's over there to our west. Is that specialized ME? And we got an F5F, so we need to be aware of him. Unfortunately, getting butt handed to us here. Nice. Oh, this FW is going to want us so bad. Yep. And he got us. But that's okay. We are up 4 sectors. And I was out of that sector, I believe, when I died, so that's definitely a good thing. What do we need to work on? There's a bomber coming near our spawn center, and then we got this garrison that we just lost. So let's go for the garrison, I suppose, since, you know, what the heck, might as well. Actually, let's get this bomber, since he's right above us. Soviet bombers, gotta love them. Yet, you gonna turn? I was gonna say, you're not that stupid, are you? Alright, so we'll go ahead and come on over here. We'll drop our bombs. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. I just drop all 4 of them because they're pretty weak bombs, so, you know, there's no point in hanging on to them for too long. I'd like to go for something kind of simple to kill, so we'll go for this guy. Oh, there's this guy. It'll take like half a second.
We have complete control of the skies.
There we go. Complete control. So we're going to move on to this garrison over here. See if we can defend it. We're going to use our multi-rollness to be multi-rolly. We got done attacking. Let's go defendy. And we're doing pretty darn well, I would like to say. We are countering the guys we need to counter. We're avoiding the guys we need to avoid. I didn't realize there's a specialized boomerang. That guy would be a huge pain in the butt. We're gonna kill this guy just to kill this guy. We're gonna kill this guy just to kill this guy. Right now I'm just hyenaing it. I didn't do anything special there. We'll worry about him in a second. You know, just got in, took care of planes of opportunity. And let's get this PE2. Trying to save our boost a little bit. Good. Okay, we've got boost. His engine's knocked out, so that's definitely going to help us save our boost. Tap, 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 tap. Got him. Cool. Alright, let's move along. Guess we'll head to the center at this point. Yeah, they're all moving into the center. We're looking at the map here. They just took over this sector, so everybody's going to be moving to the center. We need to be a little bit wary of the situation. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Seriously? Let's get him knocked out just to get him knocked out, because he got awful feet being able to play at. But I can understand, because bombers at this tier, I do not envy. I do not want to be. I will just, yeah. They're not fun. There's a prime reason as to why they're not fun. You know, at this point, let's just go defend. Alright, there's no point in wasting the game's gonna be over soon, so right now it's just let's get a kill. We're already up high. We know we can kill a PE2. We've done it twice already. Let's do it thrice. Yeah, man, thrice. Whatever. Get this guy knocked out. See if we can get the GA below us soon enough or not. Excellent. And that's going to be game, I'm pretty sure. I'm not even going to pay attention to that multi-roll just because I think I've picked on him enough. Nope, never mind, I lied. Nope, never mind, I didn't lie.
We'll be waiting for you back home.
Cool. So, I mean, pretty darn good game again. And we're having good... This is... The S-199 is a really, really good plane. Let's head back. Alright, so we were able to get 15 frags there. We got stage 1 completed, or not stage 1, but the fuselage completed for the XP-55, which I completely forgot to turn on until a few recent battles. And I'm really liking the S-199, 100%, especially here on the EU server. It's making me silver, which is always nice. But beyond that, it fits my playstyle. I liked the BF-109s, and this is basically a BF-109G, down-tiered, and then you take the hub gun off of it and you put 220mm cannons on it. So because of that, because it's a multi-role, I'm avoiding situations that I would accidentally get myself stuck in on a BF-109G. So BF-109G, or BF-109F for that matter, is a fighter, and I would sometimes get it stuck into dogfights that I can't win. Because the BF-109, they're not the most maneuverable fighter. But in a multi-role plane, I mentally tell myself, you know, don't get into dogfights. You know, you want to come in and have your... basically have your shots taking them out on one pass rather than getting yourself stuck into a turn fight. And because I've changed that mentality, I'm having a lot of success with the S-199. Probably need to change that mentality with my BF-109s, but that's a different story. So yeah, definitely still enjoying the S-199, definitely enjoying EU gameplay. And we'll keep on keeping on when it comes to this server. We're going to keep on moving our planes up, eventually getting tier 10 across all the British line, and then we'll start flighting up with some of my followers on the EU server. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this particular battle. Please tell me I did this. Oh, good. I'm boosting up my Hurricane pilot, which will eventually be my Hunter pilot at some point, I guess. Hey there, Postal here. So today we're taking out the Hurricane 1. This seems to be a pretty common map for the EU server, huh? So we're in a tier 5 battle, grinding down the British multi-role line here on the EU. What do we need to look out for? Well, there's a bunch of stuff. Just everything. There's SE-100. There's just all kinds of fun stuff. So I'm actually going to go to this garrison over here. So as a true support plane and a Hurricane 1 that doesn't have anything above the above the upgraded items. What I mean by that is I've got the guns, I've got the bombs, and that's about it. I think I've got the airframe too. I don't have the top engine. I don't have any equipment on it. I'm kind of pseudo stock. Oh, come on, seriously? I can't aim my bombs. I can't believe I didn't crash there. Thank you. As I was trying to say before I almost completely screwed that up, I've got to be a complete support vehicle. I can't get myself stuck in like you would in a normal Hurricane 1. Speaking of which, okay. I should be okay versus this guy. He might be AFK. Something I've super noticed on the EU server. I don't know when I'm posting these videos and in what order. But the EU server tends to have a hell of a lot of AFK people. I mean, he's shooting, so he's not truly AFK. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. I've seen a lot of people quit. A lot of quitters. I've seen a lot of people just be AFK for the whole game. I don't know what that guy's deal is. I just don't. Like, he's clearly there. Somewhere. So I'm not going to drop my bombs unless I know I'm going to get that particular item completely destroyed. Because I don't want to drop my bomb and then have them in a GA over here like this. Take the item. Well, I guess what I can do is take this one bomb and get this thing, right? Let's see if we can knock this guy out. overturned there. Trying to do tailspin? I don't know what I was trying to do. See if we can get this knocked out. Oh, he's loaded in. So I don't even know how to approach this guy. Like, is he any good? Who the hell knows? I assume not, but that doesn't mean anything. There's a GA on me, which is definitely annoying as hell. Oh, it's a human GA, so that would be why. He doesn't have a tail gunner, so he's in trouble. So the whole reason I picked up the, of course I don't have my freaking wings, so it'd be nice if I had a wing. The whole reason I picked up the premium tier 5 is because it has a tail gunner. It's weaker on the guns, but it's got a tail gunner. I thought that might help. It doesn't really help at tier 5. Even if he had a tail gunner, it wouldn't be worth it. Down and around. What am I doing here? I thought I was going to crash again. I feel like the response of the controls is a little off there. Can I kill him? I know it's freaking Soviet, but it doesn't mean it's like invincible, right? Got a bomb there. Hopefully that'll be able to do it. And it does. Cool. Got 2 bombers up here. Are either of them human? No. Cool. So, whoop. Is anybody else over here? No, thank goodness. Because I would have died. Alright, let's try to get up to a reasonable altitude here. See what we're going to be dealing with. So, F2, buddy. Wishy's probably freaking out right now, even though he's not even seen this battle. So we're going to try to get up to a reasonable altitude. We're going to see if this is going to work or not. I mean, the British multi-roll line is not known for its altitude in the best of days. Not having the top engine, not having any boost consumable is certainly going to make this more difficult than not. Having guns that can't even go out to 2,000 feet is definitely going to make it difficult as well. So we're just going to keep on moving at an upward angle. We're the only thing over here defending the air, so I'm not going to leave. Shoot, we've got a GA inbound as well. So yeah, we definitely need to be... We need to get these bombers knocked out, and then get down and get that GA. Easier said than done when you're in a frickin' hurricane. Cool. Excellent. Ah, another GA is inbound. So we need to stay up here just because we need to stay up here. Hopefully, yes, the bomber's coming towards me, right? Please. Now he's moving away. God dang, frickin' bombers move faster than hurricanes. Alright, so we gotta play the waiting game here. Is he coming back? Yes, he is. So I'm gonna actually turn this way just to give him time to get back in the zone. We got a multi-roll inbound, so that's gonna be disappointing. Hopefully it's a multi-roll we can deal with. Good God, these guns don't want to kill a bomber. Oh, it's a not fun to deal with. I do not think I... I really don't think that I crashed into him, but you can't tell on the EU server. That's one thing I'm definitely noticing is... the one thing that I'm really having an issue with when it comes to latency, and thank God I crashed then and not you know, any later, is like the timing of rams, like the timing of the ability to move, is pretty piss poor for me. So like on my screen there, it seemed like I was okay. Clearly I was not. It's toast.
Victory is in sight. Keep it up.
I do not want to go in that general direction, just because getting stuck in with something as maneuverable as an I-17 when there's no support is a recipe for disaster. We'll see what we can do here. Got support, we got a Spitfire, which is, he's going to be 100 times more worried about a Spitfire. Which, you know, cool. Let's get this IL-2 if we can. Might attempt to even bomb trap him. How cool would that be? Would be pretty cool, but I'm not gonna assume I can do that. Nope. Oh well.
We'll be waiting for you back home.
Pretty good battle in the Hurricane 1 and a Tier 5 battle on the EU. Yeah, let's head back. Alright, and so we were able to get 11,000 personal points. Did pretty well. I'm happy with that, honestly. So on this server, you know, dealing with what I'm having to deal with, I'm going to take that as a good battle. This guy deserves a GG. Actually, they both deserve a GG. But I only give GGs out if you make over 10,000. Suck it! And just for my own curiosity, I need to check this guy's freaking ridiculousness. Like, what are we doing here? Okay. Okay, you're only 50 battles in. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And I feel bad for him, but, you know, keep on grinding, dude. If you're watching this, I know you're not. Monica, oh, cool. Keep on grinding. They get so much better. I'm even going to put it. There we go. Well, yeah. So back to what I was saying. I'm really enjoying the EU server. I like that there's people. It leads to a lot of really good games. There's been a lot of games where I've gotten my ass handed to me though as well. You know, if we didn't have the support of the people that we had support of, namely these guys specifically, you know, we would have lost that battle, right? That Spitfire, that I-17 were definitely owning what they needed to own. But our Spitfire, I mean, excuse me, our BF-109s, and the Spitfire, I guess, yeah, you know, kind of mitigated that or balanced it out a little bit, which allowed me to go to that mining facility. So there's a lot going on the EU just because there's a lot of players. What happens is you run into a million specialized Tier 5 planes, and it's soul-sucking. Sometimes when you're in a, for all intents and purposes, barely above stock Hurricane, or barely above stock Bristol, or barely above stock Blenheim, and you're just like, oh my goodness. And you want to get to Tier 5, but then you're just in a Tier 5, and you're going to run into specialized Tier 6s. So I feel the noob grind. It was, you know, it was what I was expecting. I mean, as far as I was knowing that I'm going to be having issues just because I'm an underpowered plane, but it still can be really frustrating. So I feel anybody that's having to grind the game new. That being said, keep on keeping on. You know, don't quit games. I've seen that way too much in the EU server, more than the NA server. Maybe just because there's more people. I don't know. But, like, you don't get better if you're getting your ass handed to you and you quit. You get better if you're getting your ass handed to you and you learn something from the interaction. So stick with it. Stay in the battle, even if you get your ass handed to you the whole battle. Get done with the battle and say to yourself, well, what do I need to change if that interaction happens again? Do I need to avoid that plane that keeps kicking my butt? Do I need to avoid that sector? Do I need to do something different with my ground armament? Do I need to do something different with my setup? And go from there. And all that you can do is get better at that point. But quitting the battle, it's not going to make you better. Maybe mentally better. But not in the long run, because the next battle you're just going to do poorly because you didn't learn anything. Anyway. Another soapbox rant. You might get a bunch of them on this video. Hey there, Postal here. So today we're taking out the Spitfire 1. This is Tier 5 British fighter. You know, everybody knows a Spitfire, whether you know it in game or you know it historically. Excellent plane in game for sure. This is my first Tier 5 on the EU server. As you can see, I have some nifty paint that I completely accidentally put on this plane. I was just looking at it. And yeah, so I spent gold on this freaking paint, but not gold on the nose job. And it's just all kinds of frustrating. But that's neither here nor there. We're taking out our Tier 5 plane, trying to get our first win of the day on the EU in the Spitfire 1. We're going to see how it goes. I hate this map. I hate any map that's only 3 sectors, but c'est la vie. At Tier 5, like, give me a break. It's bad enough it's a Tier 4 and below. You get stuck in this Tier 5. It's like, dang it, this game's going to be over. Whether we win or lose, the game's going to be over typically pretty quickly. We'll just kind of see how it goes. See what we run into as well. So, you know, you gotta love a plane that, it's just a well-balanced plane, right? It's maneuverable, it can get up to altitude as needed. It doesn't live up there like a BF does. But, it can do what needs to be done when it comes to, you know, when it comes to altitude. I was going to say, this guy's not paying attention to me, so that's definitely a good thing. It's an E, so it is the Tier 5 heavy plane. The guns on this Tier 5 plane are pretty ridiculous. He's turning, though, so, I mean, that's pretty ridiculous, too. This Tier 5 Spitfire does have 20mm Hispanos, which goodness knows we all love. But they overheat super quickly. And it's kind of the balancing mechanism. They're the same guns that you get at Tier 6 on the Spitfire 5. But they don't overheat nearly as quickly on that plane. So slow down. We'll get behind this GA. Excellent. Let's head to the center, shall we? Let's go do some center stuff. I probably should have. So we've got a BF-109E specialized, and a Bristol. Is this guy a person? Is this guy a person? It is a person. So Bristol's not specialized, so he should be okay, I would think. I'm gonna let somebody else deal with him. I need to cap the center. Or if we can move him to the center, then I'll start. Oh, hello. Paying attention to the map, not paying attention to that guy.
We've taken control of the airfield.
And what do we got going on here? There is a fighter somewhere right there. I don't know how specialized he is.
Enemy is concentrating forces near the airfield.
We're gonna find out. He's got his friends on me more than he's on me. Yep. Unfortunately, but luckily the good thing is we hadn't actually unlocked the center, so we'll respawn back in here. Oh, are those guys in a... They're not. There's just 2 P-43s in a flight. So we'll see how long we can hold on to the center here. The problem with these 3 sectors is you got military base and military base. They're always going to be flipping the center. Guns on target. I've got to remember on the EU server, you got to aim a little bit further out.
The enemy is launching rockets at us from the military base. Take action.
It's almost like you're firing 30mm cannons. Is he going to focus on me? Is he going to pay attention to me? Good. Appreciate that. One thing I definitely run into issues with is ramming on the EU server because, you know, where I can make reaction with half a second to go on the NA server to avoid a ram. It's a little bit more difficult to do that on the EU server when you're already half a second behind. Most of the rams that I've had, to be honest, don't even look like a, besides the one, literally the one that we just saw here, they don't even look like rams. It looks like I completely missed or completely avoided getting shot, or rammed, I should say, and yet I end up dead. So let's see if we can get somebody to get him. Mills are overheated, that's fine, it is what it is. It's Bristol. Bristol is probably the more maneuverable of the two planes, to be honest, so let's get rid of him first. Oh, I'm out of boost. Luckily didn't get my face pummeled in by that BF 110. Not yet, anyway. Excellent.
Air supremacy.
Air supremacy. Whew, turn this around quite a bit. So, on the EU server, I hang on to every air supremacy I can get. I do not trust. So there's so many more people in the game that an air supremacy can get flipped to a loss just easier. And I don't take the air supremacies for granted on the EU server. I tend to on the NA server. I feel like I've got a lot more control over the situations on the NA server, and I'm still, for all intents and purposes, I'm not a stock plane. I'm actually got all the equipment on this Spitfire, but I think of myself as a stock plane simply because I'm running into specialized planes at Tier 5, right? And specialized Tier 5 plane is basically a Tier 6 plane, or it could be anyway, depending on their specialization level.
Victory is ours. We're waiting for your return.
Whew! But we were able to have a pretty darn good impact there. Let's head on back. All right, so we were able to capture both those sectors, knocked out 11 targets, so nothing over the top crazy when it comes to frags. But for a 3-sector game, I'll take this for sure. 13,000 personal points is I'm definitely going to take that. GG to our Bristol here. Well-deserved GG on his part. And yeah, you can just see like the amount of players we've got. So on the EU server, it's got to be, well, basically on the EU, it's dinner time, right? It could be a little bit before. It's 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. And so maybe this is just the high server population time frame. This battle didn't have any quitters, which is nice. I've been running into a bunch of those. It just kind of is what it is. And yeah, so good overall game. I can't complain about this game by any means. That's really all there is to this plane. It's a Spitfire 1. Like, everybody knows Spitfire 1. It's definitely the reason one of the reasons I'm going down the British lines again is because the Spitfire line was the first line I went down on the NA server, and it was such an enjoyable experience that I figured, well, what the heck? And I can combine that with the fact that a lot of these guns cross over. Like I said, I got the Spitfire top guns because I researched them on the something else. Oh, no, that's opposite. So I researched them on this plane, so that way I'll already have them for things like the Hurricane 2. That's right. I think it was the previous guns that I had earned on the Hurricane 1 that I got on the Blenheim. I don't remember. But a lot of the stuff crosses over. Engines cross over, although not all of them. Guns cross over, although, again, not all of them. And it's going to make it slightly easier. And on top of that, it's Spitfire. So, like, it's kind of an easier line anyway. And so even when I'm playing this plane without all the equipment that I would normally put on it, I did put on a sight just because I figured I'm going to be in this plane for a long enough time that I can at least put the sight on. The airframe, I'm not sure it's going to... My goal right now is just to get to tier 10. And so I'm not necessarily going to, on planes like this, put additional equipment on. The fact that I've put the consumables on that I've put on is quite a bit, considering I need to earn credits. As I get higher up into the higher tiers, I think I've already mentioned this. I know I've already mentioned this. then I might spend additional credits on, this equipment just because I'm going to be grinding, just ridiculous amounts. Right now I've got to grind, 30,000? Less than that now. It's going to be 22,000, 23,000 XP. And so I'll get that, with relative ease. But going to the Spitfire 9, it's going to be 61,000. And so I might be putting equipment on the Spitfire 5 because the grind to this plane is going to take longer, so I might as well have a better plane. I'm definitely going to be putting equipment on the Spitfire 9 because the grind to the Spitfire 14 is 72,000 XP. And so I don't want to hate my grind and in a particular plane, so I will put additional equipment on it. The freaking grind to the attacker is 132,000. So obviously my Spitfire 14, I'm going to put all the best stuff that I can afford on it, and we'll go from there. But in the lower tiers, I'm just going to kind of suck it up, Buttercup. And since I can still have an impactful match without necessarily putting full equipment on it, I can get away with that. On top of that, because I'm doing 3 grinds at once, I'm rolling through my credits very, very quickly. If I was just doing one line, I might conceive of putting equipment on this plane just because I'm not spending all that extra silver on the Blenheim or on the Hurricane 1. I can just put that silver towards maximizing whatever plane, my Spitfire plane, basically, at that point. So yeah, that's my explanation of why I'm doing what I'm doing. I hope you've enjoyed these battles. I know it's a rather long supercut, but I think I'd rather have it as a grouping than have 4 different battles for these lower tier battles. Other than the S199, I guess the Spitfire 1's technically mid. I don't know, just give you guys perspective of the steps I'm taking and the grind I'm having to do, and I feel your pain. Anybody that's new to the game or anybody that's grinding a new line, I feel your pain, 100%. I hope you enjoy these battles. I hope you enjoy, your time flying out on the battlefield, and have a great day. Bye.